You're live. Yes, I am live. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This is of an underrated action, well, kind of like crime comedy from the 1994 called Cops and Robbersons. Yeah, this is with Chevy Chase and the late Jack Palance. May he rest in peace. I miss him a lot. He reminded me of my grandfather from my dad's side. This also has Diane Wiest. She was the mom in The Lost Boys. Robert Davi and one of the girls, I think, is a British chick. But anyway, this is about 90 some minutes. It's storming outside, so let's do this. Here we go. I haven't seen this movie for years, so let me just lower the volume so it's not too loud because I haven't seen this film in quite some time. Hey, Little Sims, he's the only one that showed up so far. But this is the full screen version. It doesn't matter. I just want to make sure it works. Because you guys aren't going to see a thing anyway, so it's just me. It's a very stormy day. It's supposed to be a hailstorm, so I wanted to stay home and stream. TriStar. I remember that Pegasus horse with the wings. I saw a lot of movies from TriStar when I was a kid. This is a PG movie, but there's a scene of nudity in it because this was the early mid '90s. So this is not like PG now, where it means it's an animated film. And yeah, in the mid '90s, Chevy Chase was doing movies like this because he only did like one more National Treasure, National Lampoon's Vacation. It was Vegas Vacation was his last vacation movie until the remake, and that was horrible. The remake, I heard. Yeah, Robert Davi. I think he's the villain in the movie. One of the villains, Barry Gray. That's another actor in the movie, I believe. Jason James Richter. Yeah, the kid from Free Willy's in this movie. He did this after Free Willy, and he also did the sequel. Miko Hughes from, a Kindergarten Cop and Full House. This is when he was still a kid, because I was a kid in 1994. I was 9. Robert Davi is a scary actor in a lot of stuff that he does. He has just one of those faces that we're lucky we still have him because Ray Liotta just passed away this year. So funny because I never grew up watching Ray Liotta's movies. I saw his films when I was an adult. His cameo in B Movie and Goodfellas. I did see that like a couple years ago. Hey, classic film collector 88. It's me. Yeah, Robert Davi, we're still lucky to have you, man. Hang in there, man. I know one day he's going to pass away, but what a good actor, man. He could play a good guy, and he could also play a really scary villain because he's one of the best villains in the Bond franchise because he's an abusive bastard in that movie, and he's so intimidating because nowadays I don't think there's been a Bond villain that's been intimidating since like Casino Royale. I think Mads Mikkelsen was the last one that I remember being intimidating because I don't remember the villain in Quantum of Solace. I don't remember the villain Skyfall. The villain looked ridiculous. I know some people said they were scared of Javier Bardem, but why does he have blonde hair? It's stupid. Spectre, they wasted the villain. Blofeld should have been the main villain. He was not. He was just like cuckoo and then disappears for like half the film. It was just a waste. Davi to me was a great villain. Like we haven't had one of those in a while. Mickelson, I only said that he was a good villain because he was memorable. Remember the scene where he's torturing Bond when he like hits him in the nuts? Yeah, that's painful. So anyway, that's enough about Bond. I'm not doing a Bond movie for a while until the summer, maybe. Yeah, would you say Robert Downey Jr. was a joke in the Shaggy Dog remake? Yeah, but that was before he got Iron Man. I mean, he's like and all that. I'm like, he was on drugs still at that time. Now he's sober and he's still got his career on track. Yeah, Doolittle, he was probably drinking when he did that, but again, it was a bad movie. If anyone did that movie, if Meryl Streep had done the Shaggy Dog or Doolittle, it still would have sucked. Now, remember when they used to go in towns? They used to have a milkman and leave glasses of milk outside your door. That never happened here when I live in New York City because they don't do that anymore. Michael Ritchie directed this movie. There's Chevy Chase. I wish he wasn't a dick in real life. I heard that he's a big douchebag in real life because good actor, but man, dude, you're old. You shouldn't have an ego anymore. Nobody cares about your films anymore. Your old stuff, your heyday of the 70s and 80s, we loved your stuff. But if you're going to be a douchebag, I don't want to meet you at Comic Con. All is all I'm saying because I love Christmas Vacation. I enjoyed the original Vacation. I like Caddyshack. I think it's a good film. I haven't seen the sequel. But man, even Snow Day, I like that movie. But man, Diane Weiss, you know why people like her? Because she didn't let her ego get in the way. There he is, Jason James Richter. This is right after home. The first Free Willy, which I love Free Willy. That movie almost makes me cry. How would you feel if Jordan Shatner was in the MCU? But he's got an ego a mile long too, and he's 90, guys. He's I think too old. It's like I am in space, and I'm like, no. We saw you. You're Captain Kirk. I don't think you can be in the MCU. Voice acting wise, maybe, but these actors they get a big head, and then they're like, no, I'm too big to be nice to people. Yeah, I'm in my 30s and I treat people right. If I don't like them, I'm going to say it to their face. I'm not going to put an ego about it. I can't stand the hobo, but because she ruined Star Wars. You saw, yes, cigarettes. Yeah, they had campaigns back then of no smoking. Isn't there, Ricker? We also proud to happen. Yeah, but yeah, it ruins your lungs and it kills you fast. People, people, vape now, but it's just as bad because it's tobacco in your lungs. You know, nicotine. It's bad. It's addictive. I'll never touch that stuff. After drinking coffee a couple days ago and it kept me up all night, I'm not going to touch a substance like that again. It's Halloween. Yeah, this girl I think is British because I never seen her. She looks like Karen Gillian. Josh, look her up. Yeah, he's cute, Miko Hughes. I don't think actors should have egos. If you don't like people, just say it. Bill Murray's another one. I like working with Harold Ramis, and then we had a fallout, and then he didn't forgive him until he passed away in 2014. Also, he has an ego on everything he's in, even a cameo. And I'm like, you're old, guys. Learn from your mistakes. I had to put my ego. I had to eat humble pie when I was no longer a clown. Yeah, I was a not a professional clown, but I was a clown, and I had to put my ego aside and push the next people. Give them the motivation to be a clown, not shit on them and say you can't do it. No, I like to encourage people, not discourage them. You know. Yeah, I don't know why some actors have a thing. I met Amy Jo Johnson, and she was just as humble. Yeah, I had to meet her real quickly because her line was so long, but I'll never forget it. Hmm. Put your ego to the side and let people be, want to be approachable. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to be you don't have to be affiliated. Just be nice, be decent to one another. We're living in a world full of indifference all over. Now we got monkeypox and COVID and all that, and people are already scared enough. To do Tim Allen and Eddie Murphy not belong in the MCU? I don't know about that, but Shatner is just way too old. He's 90. I don't think he's gonna put his ego aside. We just got Russell Crowe in Thor 4, so Thor: Love and Thunder. 12 o'clock. John Candy didn't have an ego, and he passed away too soon. You could tell he was a nice man in most of the movies he did. He never was like getting in the way or being a dick on set. That's the problem. That's why Leto's not Joker anymore because he let his ego get in the way. It's like in order to become the character, he has to shun people off. No, that's called being a douchebag. Okay. When I do my podcast with my friends, I put my ego aside. Trust me, people will remember the impression you left on them. And if you're a douchebag, trust me, I will know. And I will put you in your place. I'm like, I paid a Comic-Con to see you, not you see me. Okay? Yeah. Put your ego to the side. I'm not going to pay $500 to meet Sylvester Stallone or Billy D. Williams or whatever. No. I met Olivia Wilde for free. I just had to sign in online, and she was gracious and beautiful, and she's so intelligent. And when I said that it was a dream come true meeting her, she blushed because again, she was smitten. I knew how to speak to a woman because I like women. You got in case you didn't notice. That's a hint for my theme for the month of June. There's Jack Palance. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. I miss him. He was a great side villain in the Batman '89. Yeah, a mild-mannered accountant who dreams of being a super cop, pursuit of a dangerous counterfeiter, grizzled cop. Yeah, Jack Stone. So yeah, so he's a cop in this movie. I forgot if he was the criminal. No, he's an undercover cop in the Robersons' house. It's a kind of a buddy cop movie in a way. It's a lot better than Cop and a Half. That movie is ridiculous. That's a cartoon where you have Burt Reynolds with a little black kid and he wants to be a cop. I'm like, yeah, in realistic, the kid would have been killed several times in that movie. Didn't this movie bomb at the box office? Yes, but I still like it. I don't care if a movie did well at the box office or not. I did Loose Cannons and I had a ball. I was laughing my ass off watching that. Where Dan Aykroyd is a cartoon in that movie, yeah. And this is when they could smoke in a PG movie. They can't do that anymore. They can't smoke, vape, or do drugs unless it's an R-rated movie. It's even PG-13. They don't smoke that much because it's bad for you. You know, when I was a kid, they used to smoke outside my school, right in my face, and I'm lucky that my lungs are clean, even after all those decades. You know? Yeah. Check balance. Is that Emmett Walsh? I think it is. Yeah, it's not on the back because it's a cameo. He was also in Free Willy. I think he was in Free Willy. I think he was in Free Willy 2, like about the same year as this. Jury Tempering. I miss old movies back in the day because comedies I miss when they had a plot. Now it's just improvise for 5 minutes and say stupid jokes about your butt or your vagina. That's not funny, guys. Or say something sexist like, "Ha, a woman, you can't be a cop." No, what are we living in the dark ages? Women can be just as funny as men. Bridesmaids is proof of that. Oh, I remember when people used to rent VHS tapes. I remember that. Is that Blockbuster? Yeah, it is. That's a Blockbuster. Oh, I miss you, Blockbuster. There's only one left. Yeah, I used to rent a Blockbuster in the '90s, mostly VHS tapes and video games. Yeah, that is a Blockbuster. They just couldn't say it. Yep, that is Blockbuster. Yeah, just like in Captain Marvel, I was happy to see a Blockbuster. Yes, I can show this. I miss Blockbuster too. OMG. Yeah, there's only one left in Oregon, and it's still in business. I hope it stays there for another 100 years because I love Blockbuster. I show my Blockbuster mug. I reviewed the last Blockbuster a few weeks ago, so you can see that on my channel. Because renting videos there was like a treasure hunt. I rented kids' films, movies for adults. I've rented PG-13 films, video games on the Super Nintendo and on the PlayStation 2, I believe, or PS1. Yeah. Renting was a thing back before streaming was a thing. Palance also did a great voice in The Swan Princess. Yeah, he didn't have a blockbuster hit again after Batman, but he still was an actor. He was a good actor even after his prime because he won an Oscar for the original City Slickers, and then he did the sequel and this, and a bunch of other films. Think the movie is better than Step Brothers? This movie, I haven't seen Step Brothers. I've seen clips, but some of the dialogue is painful. Yeah, because now Chevy Chase has white hair and he's old. I'm like, yeah, I've seen commercials with him. Like, that's why in Community he had to be taken out because again, he's a douchebag. Here's the thing, directors: if the person you know is hard to work with, don't work with them. It's the reason George Clooney never worked again with the director of Three Kings because he was because David O. Russell because he's got a bad temper. I would never work with a director that's always yelling. I'm like, no, kiss my ass. I'd rather work at a deli than work for you. I'm being dead serious. Check that movie out if you can. Such a classic. Step Brothers. I'm gonna stream it sometime in June. It didn't have Asians in it. That's why I didn't watch it. It sucks. Camel dicks. So stupid. And it's got Catherine Hahn with her big, gorgeous nose, and she has blonde hair in that movie. Yeah. I don't know why they're going through the garage. I guess because they want to sneak them into the house. I'm sorry, I just got up from a nap because it's been a long, 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 long month of May. It's only 1 o'clock. Yeah, those are one garage doors. I don't know if they were done by electronically, but yeah, his alarm went off. There's the garage door remote. Yeah, because Step Brothers was made in back in the 2000s. When they tried. Now everything has to be a who has a better nose. Catherine Dever, Caitlin Dever, definitely. I'm in love with her. I do like Catherine Hahn though because her nose gives her a very good distinct face in WandaVision. It's adorable. But Dever, just I love her so much. Like her nose, I want to kiss it. Mm. So because she's so petite and cute. It's a closet. I'm going in the closet. Yeah. No, it's not a gay joke, guys, because nowadays that's all they can talk about in June. But not for me. Mm-mm. No rainbows on my channel unless it's in the sky. Cats don't go in closets. They go usually on the roof. Yeah, she has like Karen Gillan hair. You saw? So not that's not CGI. Also, that cat is real. It's not. It wasn't CGI. Yeah, I don't have a cat. I'm allergic. I can't touch cats. Yeah, she looks like a mix between Karen Gilliam and Natasha Leon. Yeah, with that red hair. Yeah, because Josh loves it so much. Yeah, I still prefer brunettes. No, kitty, get off. Yeah, you know who also is you know who also is allergic to cats? Brie Larson. She can't touch a cat. So when she was touching the cat in Captain Marvel, it was CG or it was a puppet because she can't touch it. I mean, but that I can understand. But she wasn't being a biatch on the set. That's why the directors worked well with her. Galaga. Yeah, I played it on my NES Classic. Yeah, this movie's nice and short, so I didn't want to do a 2 hour movie today because I'm so tired. This month it didn't drag; it dragged royally. You know, And every other Saturday, I had to have people over my house. You saw they put them in the guest room. That's really crazy. That would never happen today. Sneaking two cops into someone's home, especially during a pandemic. No, we don't know if they have monkeypox. They're on a stakeout. Is that a Godzilla toy? It looks like one, yeah. And that's some samurai thing. One of my favorite games ever. I played is countless times. Yeah, I've only played it on the NES Classic because I never played it as a kid. I remember seeing the arcades of Galaga when I was, going to the arcade when I was a boy, but I never played it because it was one hit deaths. I hated when games had that back in the 80s and the early 90s. One hit and you die. Yet in games now, you get a life bar or you get at least a couple hits. Some games you don't even die. Like you die, but you get unlimited lives, like Mario Odyssey. You just lose 10 coins and you move on. So games are much easier and more merciful now. Back in the day, if you think Dark Souls is hard, Dark Souls, you have a life bar. Back in the day, one hit and you die, or two hits and you die in a game. Like Contra and Adventure Island. It's a big house. Yeah. Yeah, they only showed his crack because again, it's a PG movie, not an R-rated. You're not going to see dong in a PG movie now. Yeah, there's nothing in PG movies now because PG movies now are kids films. That's what they are. They used to be live action, but now there's not that many PG movies that are live action unless they're on Netflix. Other than the fact that ripped you in the theater, how is that? Do you think I so poorly and scares you to death? I don't like her face, guys. There's something about her face that it makes my skin crawl. I hate Avatar, but they're not real. It's just CG. But this actress is real, and I don't like her face. It was haunting. As they think that she was the next Natalie Portman. Oh God, no! She's just a new Kristen Stewart. Where I see that face and I start shaking. I do. I start shaking. It gives me a bad vibe. That's why I couldn't sleep. I never got that with Natalie Portman or Carrie Fisher. There she is. Yeah, Diane Weiss's gorgeous body. Even for her age at that time, yeah, they said a butt shot. Yep. He snuck on her. Even J.J. Abrams knew that she sucked. I mean, that's why you don't see her nude because, yeah. Oh, I don't want to see that. No. Wear some pants. No, Karen Gilliam. Yep. It's okay. He's a man. He's not. Put some pants on. No, I don't want to see that. Close it. Yeah, that I don't want to see male ass again. Again, it's a misunderstanding. This music is a little bit on the nose. It's kind of like they think they're intruders. Well, they technically are because they didn't. Again, I don't want to see that guy's junk. Are there any male actors you have hate as much as the hobo Boyega, John Boyega? I don't like him either. It's not his face. It's just I don't like. You're not going to Disney Plus me, mate. Yeah, well, we don't want you. That's why the next Star Wars show is Andor, which I'm not going to see that either. Diego Luna, I'm not a fan, so I can skip that one. I'm a cop. Yeah. Thank you for not showing his crotch. I don't want to see that right now. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they said that back in the '90s, bitching. It was like they also said it in the '80s. It's not a curse word. It just it was a '90s slang. Yeah, I forgot if they showed that guy's ass. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see that now. You would never see that in a PG movie now, because even PG-13 movies like Jungle Cruise, they never show The Rock naked or Emily Blunt. Why? Because Disney won't show that. They're going to tease you, and they're not going to show it. I mean, they're doing that in the new Thor, where uh, Russell Crowe goes zip and completely naked Thor from a distance. They're not going to show nothing, because then audiences will be horrified. Diego Luna, Mexican Drake Bell puppet clone, he tried to do the Death Star, go to the Death Star with Jyn Erso, the Beaver Girl, but Paris. But yeah, exactly. He's not a strong character. Doing a Disney Plus show ain't gonna save him. He still has that stupid accent, and he's still boring, and he's still gonna die in Rogue One. So we know his fate. As he's Obi-Wan Kenobi, I've been enjoying it because he's a legendary Star Wars character, now played by a legendary actor that's brought him to life for the second time. It's like a new lease on life. Osborne, like Norman Osborn. I forgot. I think that's Barry Gray. Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything in years. I don't know if he retired or what. Let me turn my phone on because I'm going to get a lot of notifications anyway. At least this podcast is nice and quiet today because, again, it's a stormy day. Chinese. Hmm. Yeah, you shouldn't smoke. Yeah, it isn't good for you. It's bad. People vape now because they think it's more healthier. No, there's still a 60% chance you'll get cancer from putting vapes, putting all that those chemicals in your body. I don't want metal in my body. I don't want it. I want to live. It was bad enough I had to avoid sick people during COVID. Since is the game over? Are you going to avoid it? Yes, I'm going to avoid it. I'm not reviewing anything with any homosexual characters, and I promise you that. That includes Lightyear. If I see Lightyear, I'm not going to mention the gay girl because I don't care. Because you don't need that. It's not needed. It's a kids' movie, a CGI animated prequel to Toy Story. Why do you need gay characters? Oh, to fill a quota. Because if we don't give them a shout out, they'll tell us that we're homophobic. No, we don't need it. It's not necessary. They have their own genre. You don't need their gayness and gaydar in my freaking Disney movies. You don't need it. It's not necessary. It feels forced. He looks like Nick Stahl. Give me that. Yeah, and that's his voice, Jack Palance. He didn't do a Batman voice. That was his voice. Again, please don't smoke anymore. I wish cigarettes were banned because they're useless now. People don't even buy them anymore. And even when they do, they don't step on them. They gotta the least they can do is shut it off. Like step on it or spit on it or just shut it off. I don't need cancer. I want to live. Bum, 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 bum. The multiverse. Of course, this movie bombed at the box office. No one's even heard of this film. That's why I only got like 2 or 3 people watching my podcast. But I want to do this because I wanted to rewatch this movie. It's been a while. This is fun because there's no commentary for this movie, so I'm doing one. It's like last year when I. It's like what last year when I did a commentary for the that movie with did I do it last year? I think I did. Teen Men in Action. I think it was uh Her Alibi. I did a commentary for that. Hmm. Look at VHS tapes. Policewoman, Dragnet, a lot of cop stuff. If you hate movies, then well, how come you didn't hate Booksmart? Because Caitlin Deaver's the most gorgeous lesbian character I've ever seen in my life, guys. Maybe because I like women. I don't know. There's a lot of women, and I met Olivia Wilde, the director of that movie, in person. She's a doll. Her new movie has the bento. I don't want anything to do with it. Well, oh my darling, whatever the hell it's called, I don't care about it. I saw Caitlin Deaver in the trailer, and I'm like, I like girls. Well, I like girls, and in real life, she likes guys. So I'm attracted to her. Maybe I don't know. With that one, it didn't feel like a gay movie. Plus, teenagers nowadays are gay, but it wasn't like Love Simon or Love Victor or freaking Moonlight. No, that they have to shove it in your face. In this movie, I'm like, whatever. It's a phase. She made it work. She made it convincing, and because I'm attracted to her, maybe that's why. When I'm attracted to an actress, I can go with Angelina Jolie. It's a little on the nose because she's a bisexual, so you get what you pay for, you know. But I'm not reviewing that movie or doing a podcast for that movie, just out of respect for who I am. It's just my preference, guys. That is not my preference. I've said that for many years. It bothered me more in Supergirl when they had to make Alex gay. Why? Because reasons. Again, it's called Supergirl. It wasn't called My Gaydar. It's called Don't Worry, Darling. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. Don't care. I saw the trailer and I was cringing. I had to close my eyes. Too many Brits in it. Why? Why did they have to let Olivia Wilde direct a bunch of bintos that can't act? Harry Styles can't act. Gemma Chan can't act. Florence, I don't like her. I don't. Black Widow, trust me, that was a fluke. You'll never get a successful movie like that again, Bento. This Darling movie will not even make crack a billion because movies like that usually don't make more than like a 100 million at the box office, worldwide or domestically. When is it coming out anyway? It just those are not my kind of movies. I like to laugh. And Olivia Wilde's a good director. It's just some of the writing that they give her, like the writer of Booksmart wrote a lot of jokes in there that did not age well, and she can't write. The writer of Booksmart can't write likable male characters because she's a woman. You get it? That's why I prefer Olivia because she's more desirable than you. What's it called? Don't worry, darling. Oh, I won't worry. Some people thought when I was in college thought I was gay. I'm like, oh, trust me, I'm not. I love women just as much as the next fella. It's a psychological thriller. You mean so it's going to be another A24 movie? September. Yeah, I don't care. Veal Parmigiana. Who's writing this movie? I bet it's not Olivia Wilde because she's not a writer. You're adorable, man, Olivia Wilde. But if I ever see that movie, I don't want to be sober. I want to be on some cold medicine or something because I'm like, it's an American psychological thriller. In the trailer, I thought it was a romantic drama. The screenplay is written by Katie Silberman. Please retire. I don't care about you, Katie. I don't care about you. You're pretentious. You think you're writing art. You haven't won an Oscar for writing, so kiss my heterosexual ass, male ass, lady. Based on a story by Carrie Van Dyke, Shane Van Dyke, and Silberman. Not a fan. I like Sarah Silverman way more than you. At least she's funny and cute. Controversial, but cute. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that writer. She's supposed to be writing the Spider-Woman movie. You better not make it pretentious. You better not. Good. So this movie's not coming out for a couple months. Good. It's going to come out in a month where nobody cares because kids go back to school in September. Veal Parmigiana. It will be streamed on HBO Max after a theatrical release. Where do I not sign up? Please. I'd rather watch the Batman again. That was awesome, and that had a Binto as as a main lead. But Robert proved that he was a good Batman. Also, A24 is not releasing that movie. It's New Line Cinema. Yeah, I know because they're weak. They haven't made a big hit movie in a while. In the '90s, they were killer because they did The Mask and they did was it Ninja Turtles? But now what are they doing? Movies like this. A psychological thriller is not going to be scary. I've seen scarier movies on Netflix. Veal Parmigiana. Veal Parmigiana. Hmm. Is that the villain? I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. It's just that, yeah, I got a friend request and it's not. It's spam. Don't forget Dumb and Dumber. I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber. I have to see it. Austin Powers, yeah, and Boogie Nights, which is way too long, but it's a well made movie. At least I cared about some people in that movie. Let me check the weather. Veal Parmigiana. Veal Parmigiana. It's 67 degrees right now. Thunderstorm, no, it's more of a hailstorm. It's going to stop later at like 6 o'clock. Mostly cloudy. Tomorrow's going to be 79. Good. I missed the hot weather. Tuesday, 94. So, yeah, I need 94. I need some sunscreen and some water. You saw a $50 bill. Is that the serial numbers? I think it is. Oh, and by the way, she Ronan just got cast in the Barbie movie. Why? She can't act either. I saw her in The Host, and I was almost asleep. Even when she was a little girl, I don't think she was that good of an actress. When I saw City of Ember, I thought it was okay, but it would have been much better if that was like Dakota Fanning or something or Ella Fanning. Why did you cast an Irish girl? What I don't know, and some British kid that I never seen before, some Game of Thrones knockoff? Yeah, don't care, guys. Robert was a good Batman because he was very physical and he didn't have to say much to prove it. With the Binto, it's like, you like to pose like this. I'm like, you hate that. I hate when they have to sound like a cartoon character. Sound like a freaking Natasha from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, which that was much better because at least that cartoon was cute and funny. Then they made a bad movie and look what happened. I'll shut this off. I want to save battery power because, in a blackout, I'll have something to do on that phone. I can still use this phone even without Wi-Fi, so let me just use my tablet. I am gonna kill him. Jack Palance. Ronan can definitely act, in my opinion. She's one of my favorite actors. I'm sorry, she bores me to death. See The Host and see if she can act in that movie. She's doing these inner monologues that I'm like, oh, just put me out of my misery. Just put me to sleep. I don't want to sit through this. It's so boring. It's written by Stephanie Meyer. What do you expect? I was expecting garbage like Twilight. Yeah, house. This movie would have probably made money if it was written by John Hughes. Yeah, Katie Silverman, I don't like her. That's why when I saw her at the uh at the Q&A for Booksmart, I didn't even say hi because I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know what you've done. I know you're not a good writer. I think she wrote Bumblebee. She was one of the writers of Bumblebee. That's why Bumblebee didn't have a romance that worked, which is why she's best known for great movies like Lady Bird, Little Women, Atonement. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't see period pieces. It's not for me. I usually don't watch them. Shakespeare things I see, but not like Downton Abbey. It's not for me. It's boring. It's just a bunch of people, highbrow people talking. Not interested. Excuse me. It's Rastafarians. Ah, that's racist. Yeah, that looks ridiculous. It looks like the worst stash of weed I've ever seen in my life. Via Parmigiana. Yeah, they did this in a Mickey Mouse cartoon where a giant makes a blunt and smokes it, and yeah, no good, man. And now weed is legal. That's why I smell it all the time in this area. Yeah, I'll have to sit on it. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Saoirse Ronan. I can't even say her name. This is why she wasn't Wanda, guys. She's not intense enough. She's boring. Elizabeth Olsen with one stare can tell you she means business. Hmm. The movie's not hilarious, but I do like the film for what it is. Let me check when this movie came out. What month? 1994. But what month? Hmm. This movie's only about 92 minutes. Without the end credits, probably like 88 minutes. Yeah, American crime comedy by Michael Ritchie. I know I've heard that name before. Bernie Sommers directed. He wrote it. This movie only made $11 million. That would have been a lot of money back in 1994 if the movie. It got generally negative reviews. I don't see why. It's not that horrible. I've seen some comedies where I didn't laugh once, like Disaster Movie, which is not funny. Roger Ebert gave it 2 out of 4 stars. Referred it as one more variation on the FO fish out of water movie, so called because the plot involves a fish out of water. He singled out a scene where Chevy's character smuggles police officers into his home and snatches a cat from his wife, commenting, "Funny, yes, no, yeah." I think the movie's fine. It's not horrible. It was in the top 10 worst movies, listed alphabetically, not ranked of the year. I don't think it's that bad, guys. I've seen worse. And like Son of the Mask and 21 Over or whatever it's called, yeah, those I didn't laugh once either. The film grossed just 11 million domestic for an unknown budget. I think it probably lost money, but barely, because I don't think the budget was more than 20. Because to get Chevy Chase and Jack Palance, they had to pay them high. But I don't think it's horrible. I've seen way worse. Hmm. I don't care if a movie bombs at the box office. If it's funny or if it's entertaining, like this movie is, because this is not a realistic view on a suburban household, white family. It's a comedy, guys. Not a. It's not a. I'm wrong. It's not an action film. Let's see how Multiverse of Madness is doing. That is killing at the box office. Even though Top Gun Maverick has made about 17 million its opening day. That's good, but it's not going to make as much as Doctor Strange. 819.8 million. It's almost at a billion, man. Almost there. Come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. Spider Man did it. I was very happy about that. Via Parmigiana. I still got Tarzan the Fearless on my list. Use the web version. I haven't checked this email in weeks. Because there's movies that were commercially successful. I don't know why. Like Horrible Bosses. Why was that funny? Because Jennifer Aniston is talking about her vagina and she's trying to sexually assault Charlie Day. Yeah, that's hilarious, isn't it? I prefer the sequel because it is more of the same, but it made me laugh. The first one did not. I don't know what people were smoking, but I don't think the first one was funny. I know comedy's subjective, but here it's like you can add more security to. No, I don't need to add more security. I'm fine. What? Yeah, I think she's the only non-American actor in the movie. The redheaded chick. I don't even remember her name. So let me see the cast. For example, it's Faye Masterson. Yeah, that sounds like a Game of Thrones actor. I never heard of her. Yeah, she's from England, Kent, England. Of course she is. I told you. Uh, she was in. Yeah, she's still an actress. She did a Mass Effect game, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Dr. Annalisa Brinson, Brinson, Leviathan DLC. Yeah, she's in the DLC. That's how she was also in the 50 Shades of Grey movies. Yeah. Yeah. No, she's the only actor in this movie I'm not a fan of. How dare you sell your soul and do those god awful movies? She was Mrs. Jones. Yeah, you should be really feel ashamed of yourself for that. She didn't do the first one, but she did the two sequels, Darker and Freed. Yeah, no one was free doing that. Nobody. I prefer Karen Gillian any day because at least she's gorgeous. Taken now, but she's gorgeous still. David Barry Gray. We're about an hour in. Yeah, this guy's also still an actor. He's producing something for 2025 called Holidays. Is he acting anymore? Yeah. He took a break for like 6 years because of COVID, I would say. Please, pleasant tranquility? Yeah, not really. He can't low mow a lawn. Yeah. Well, attractive. Trust me, I get frustrated all the time. Yeah, he's still an actor. He just his last film was 2016 before the pandemic. Why do you not watch horror films in theaters anymore? Because they're not good. Half of them are just a remake, like Firestarter, a sequel, like Scream. Oh, I'm sorry, Scream 5 or Scream 2022, or it's an A24 movie that's just freaking weird and oogly boogly. And I'm like, I'm not scared. The last good horror movie I saw in theaters was the first Conjuring, and that was years ago. That was almost 10 years ago. Miko Hughes, go Miko Hughes. He bit that guy's neck. Yeah, that must have been scary for him. Wants to play protected content. Yeah, allow whatever. It's a this tablet's old anyway. Ooh, he has an NES. So yeah, I had that back in 1994. I still got my NES. I got the top loader, and I also got the NES Classic because I love my games, man. He has some Nintendo games. I don't know. It's out of focus. I guess Nintendo did want to pay for the product placement because that is an NES. I remember what the original NES looked like. Our horror movies haven't been good in a while. I mean, half of them end up on Peacock for free if you have the paid subscription, or they're just direct to video or direct to streaming, and they're not scary. Quiet Place, shh, a CGI creature is going to kill us. It's not scary. Emily Blunt's more scary than the creatures. There, I said it. Horseface. You're scarier than any CGI anything. I'm sorry, even the variants in Eternals were not scary. I was more scared of Riddler in the Batman. He scared the hell out of me. The movie started, boom, there's thunder. You see him in the background out of nowhere. It's scary because Matt Reeves knows how to put tension. He should do more horror films because he did some. He did Cloverfield, and he did Let the Right One In, a remake to that. But I heard that one was not that bad. It's just an English version of the Swedish film. But they had an excuse with that. What was the excuse for Firestarter? It wasn't like the '80s film was bad. I heard it was at least decent. Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Hmm. Don't touch me. Yeah, sounds like Batman's voice. I don't know who Ari Aster is. Yeah. Yes. When you have to be on the DLC of a game like Mass Effect, that's kind of sad. I mean, she's not even the main character in that. Yeah, I'm not fooled by this. And plus, what kind of redhead lives in the suburbs that looks like Karen Gilliam and Natasha Leon? Ari Aster directed Hereditary. I didn't see it. I heard the movie has a twist ending. Oh yeah. By the way, this whole thing was about a cult. That's not scary. Midsummer. It's also about cults torturing people. Directed The Witch, or you mean The Vitch? The Vivitch. Not scary either. I heard it's well shot, but it's not scary. Lighthouse and The Northman. Yeah, a bunch of movies that are weird. The Northman is not a horror movie. It's a like a Viking movie that's incredibly violent, and that's why people stood away from it. People don't want to see dark and gritty and scary. They want to be have fun. Yeah, that's why Spider-Man made over $1 billion, and it's the fifth highest grossing movie of all time. No Way Home. Nobody wants to see something disturbing. That's why the last Duel flopped last year. Game on. Yeah, nobody wants to see something that's dark. They just don't. The Batman worked because it was interesting, engaging. Astor's third film, Disappointment Boulevard, stars Joaquin Phoenix, is supposed to be really long. Yeah, again, too long. I don't want to sit in the theater for 3 hours. That's why the Batman, I streamed it. It's a lot easier to stream it at home on a couch than sitting on a hard chair. Yeah, you shouldn't smoke, Jack Palance. There's a black woman. Yeah, the movie is not very diverse, but again, early '90s guys. You can't. And also, that's another thing that bothers me now. You don't have to do diversity hires in everything. Sometimes you got to leave a period piece be a period piece. Yeah, I know everything is on cards now because people. God forbid you take out a piece of some change or some cash money, and apparently people like, no, you can't pay with that. They told me that when I went on vacation last week. Apparently in Connecticut you can't use paper money. That's all I got, guys. Paper money and spare change. I don't use checks to pay for stuff or debit cards. She has a computer, yeah, a home computer. I remember having one of those when I was a kid. A24 wants to cut it. Yeah, 3.5 hours. People don't want to be in the theater that long. They don't have the patience anymore. I know. Because when Endgame came out, yeah, that was a big event movie. That's why they went. And Diane Weiss looks like a mom. I don't buy freaking Tony Collette as a mom. I just don't. I'm sorry. It's kind of boring without John Avenger fan and the other guys joining, don't you think? No, it's actually quiet. They probably said, "I never heard of this movie, so I'm going to bail out. I don't need their stupid. Look at this crossover. Look at that. I don't need it. I don't." Little Sims joined quickly, and I'm fine with it. I just want a nice, quiet Saturday. I've had a lot of crazy ass Saturdays to last me a lifetime, guys. Now Monday's Memorial Day, so everybody should be here. It's a holiday. You saw Heinz ketchup. It's not boring. I'm here. I'm the real John Avenger. No substitutions. No one has my face. Let me check what's on YouTube. Yeah, that's the suburbs. It's like in the movie Nobody. Yeah. The best mother son wedding dance songs. The the end of Stranger Things. Dollar Tree. Movie hunting. I can see that later. He's still doing videos. Uh, OGP. Yeah. The movie's almost over, so I'm. Yeah. Everything wrong with the entire Star Wars prequels. Yeah, whatever. Um, I already saw that. The most terrible thing Jack Sparrow has done. Yeah, Sami Zayn. He looks like a freaking. It's like he's trying to be. It's like he's trying to be the new Daniel Bryan, but you'll never be a main eventer. Zayn. Happy birthday to you. Yo. Yeah. No, they haven't done a review. Double toasted. They haven't done a bad review yet. It's probably going to be next week because it's June. So yeah, he's just a grouchy old man. I don't want to be like that when I'm 60 or 70 years old. I want people to remember my personality. Yeah, it's not boring without those two. I'm fine with having a day without them. Hell, when I did my podcast for In Time, the chat was shut off. So I still did the commentary. It's that's all that matters. Like you hear my voice. If not, it's just a bunch of people saying stupid things like, oh, I want this crossover. I want that crossover. I want this. No, it's not a Q&A. I want to enjoy myself. I want to do this for you guys. Like, leave me alone. I'm Batman. Because he was in Batman, and then the Joker kills him halfway through the movie. About it's a coffee mug, right? Yeah, it's a mug. I got a lot of those in my room. Uncle Jake. Handmade. A toilet, you saw? Keep in mind, the Joker was super dark and that made $1 billion. Yeah, but it was a period piece and it's a Oscar-winning performance. Where was that in Suicide Squad? Nowhere, because Leto was too busy acting. And then in the Suicide Squad, they don't mention the Joker again. And in Justice League, they had to put him in a post-credit scene, a epilogue at the end of the Snyder Cut with his stupid goose hat laugh. Ha ha ha! That's not the Joker's laugh. I don't want to see what Jake did. That's gross. Hmm. Yeah, he was kind of, that kid was kind of weird when he played he was in Freddy New Nightmare the same year in 1994, which was kind of underperformed, but it did better than this. And also in he played an autistic kid. I'm going to say that because I don't want to offend Josh in Mercury Rising with Bruce Willis, but he was just too loud. He like screams out of nowhere. It's a bit much, but trust me, I know. Has Chevy Chase ever given a bad performance? Not nothing to lose. I heard he doesn't care in that movie. He's just like, I mean, nothing but trouble. He's barely awake in that movie because he's like going through the motions. The whole movie, he just wants to get into Demi Moore's pants. I don't blame him. She's a gorgeous woman. I mean, to this day. In that movie, he just does not care. Like he's just there for a paycheck. He's like, thanks for the espresso maker. Yeah, he's just bored. He kind of sounds like that in every movie. He's not really a. He's no Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey puts his all into everything and overacts like a mother, but it's great. That's proves that he's alive and he's awake. I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have to go upstairs and eat something when this is done. Excuse me. See, he keeps doing it again. Under arrest for what? He's under arrest. You can't arrest somebody for messing up your sandwich unless they spit in it or do something. You're under arrest. He's gonna arrest the guy. Yeah. No, this is not a. Yeah. You're under arrest. Yeah, trust. He didn't do anything. He arrested him with these two little handcuffs, like on his fingers. You know, you can't do that. It's against the law to pretend to be a cop. It's a crime. Trust me, I've never been arrested, so I like to keep a clean image. I never want to be. He arrested a guy just because he put cream cheese on his bagel. Again, the customer is always right. Yeah, I know. I know. Trust me. I know. I know. I lived in New York City for over 3 decades, and people are assholes here. I mean, a lady told me, "Hey, do you have a smaller bill? Because I don't take 20s." I'm like, "Lady, I don't have all day. You know, I want to pay for my stuff and go." Unlike some old people, they got to buy like 50 items at the dollar store, and they think that they have all day. No, you don't. Dollar Tree doesn't have. It's not open 24 hours like a Walmart. It opens at 8 in the morning and it closes at 9 p.m. like every day, unless it's a holiday or something. They close a lot earlier. I don't have all day, you know. We're about an hour and 7 minutes. Yeah, it's almost done. Don't worry, darling. A new cinema motion picture associated with a bunch of Bezos production. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I saw these two last year and they were causing me pain. Black Widow's Yelena sucked, and also in Gemma Chan was horrible in Eternals. I was so bored. Whoa! You saw a state ID. That guy is a criminal. Yeah. See, look. No wonder he was an asshole. Yeah, because he's working at a diner and he's a criminal. He's a convicted felon. Let's see what it says here. It's like RoboCop. See, Grand Theft Auto, convicted of Grand Theft Auto like at least 3 times. Wow. Some people just don't. They don't learn their lesson. They got to keep messing up. Don't get me wrong. Personally, I'm excited for Don't Worry since I love Booksmart and I love Flow. I'm sorry. Caitlin Deaver with a gorgeous nose playing a lesbian is way more desirable than a Binto that can't choose an accent. That guy is a criminal. He's a criminal. See? Bum, ba-dum, bum. Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. What? Why would I? Why would I want to? Why would I want to commit Grand Theft Auto when I can't drive a car? And I don't like cars. I get car sick. When I'm in a car for like a half hour or more, my stomach starts to gurgle up. I don't know why, because I didn't get car sickness when I was a kid. But it's because, I don't like cars. I don't. I'm not a fan of cars. I like go karts and bumper cars, but I don't like driving a real car. I get sick. The motion just boom, boom, boom. It makes my stomach go up and down. They actually got a convicted felon. So big coincidence. It's just like in Booksmart where the taxi driver is also a convicted felon as well, and that's how they get out of prison because they catch the guy, and it's a convenience, but it's a movie. I can get over it. The only reason you haven't seen Dunkirk, yeah, that, and because it's like a war film with a bunch of Irish and British actors. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. 1917 just came out a few years ago. I'm not a fan of those movies where it's got to be a bunch of Brits doing war stuff when America was the one that won most of the wars, except for Nam. That's one of the only wars we lost because we weren't prepared for it. The Asians were packing. And I wasn't even born when Nam happened in the 70s. Hmm. But what? It's sad when this actor is giving a more subtle performance than anything Mark Wahlberg's done. Because in every movie, he sounds like this. Yeah, like I'm stoned out of my mind. I'm like, why are you talking like that? Donnie Wahlberg doesn't sound anything like that. Even Jenny McCarthy, and she's been on The Masked Singer. She's animated. She's alive. She's not. Oh look, I'm seeing a bunch of costumes. Cool. Oh, look at that. Yeah, he sounds like that in everything, and it's just aggravating. He can be a good actor when he wants to, but Mark Wahlberg, when he sounds like a cartoon, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I haven't seen Uncharted yet. It's not Tom Holland. It's because Marky Mark talks like this, and I'm like, oh, an hour and 12 minutes. Yeah, it's almost done. Classic film, you're the only one that showed up. Hey, if one person shows up, it's better than nobody. Yeah, I don't want cancer of any kind. Hmm. Parents usually do. Monday's going to be American Assassin, so look out for that. Since you say turning red is woke, do you think it's better off as a curriculum material in high school history class and health class? Yeah, not for kids. It's disguised as a kids movie, and I didn't care for it. And I'm an adult. Inside Out was done better. No more poets. No more poets. Yeah, the movie is very, fish out of water, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Calling this one of the worst comedies of '94. Hey, I'm chuckling. I like the performances. This is the insert. Look, look, those pictures of them outside. And if you enjoyed this film, we recommend Big Daddy. I have that movie already. The Cable Guy. I've seen that. So I Married an Ex Murderer. I haven't seen, and Stripes, which I've seen the theatrical cut. I think there's an extended cut that's even longer. I think the movie's a little bit too long though. Stripes should have been an hour and a half, not almost 2 hours. You know? Yeah. And so I Married an Ex Murderer is another movie like this where it was Mike Myers in his prime playing two characters. He played a regular guy, and then he played his Scottish father or whatever. It's like, because it go for nightlife, smart arse. Yeah, he sounds like Shrek. It's ridiculous. He's like, oh, I hated the Colonel with his wee bitty eyes and the look on his face. It's laughable, man. Oh, you're gonna buy my chicken. Oh, and Constance Mandalore is laughing his ass off. I'm like, or is that Constance Mandalore? No, it's some other guy. I forgot. Have you heard of the movie How to Build a Girl? I think so. Excuse me. So we're almost done. Let's see my battery power. It got about 70%, so it'll be good because the movie's short. So yeah, there wasn't much of a storm. Didn't even thunderstorm. It was like a hailstorm. Hey, Network 98, you just made it. We're in the third act of the movie of Cops and Robertson. To Maui. It's a British movie, and Beanie Feldstein is in it. So yeah, it sounds like a bento in it. No, I can skip that one. She's on Broadway right now doing Funny Girl or something like that. I'd rather watch that. Yeah, he blew his cover. Uncle, no. Plus, Beanie Feldstein is the younger sister of Jonah Hill. She looks just like Jonah Hill. It's like a fatter, scarier version of Jonah Hill. She has like these big, crazy eyes. Yep, he's been spotted. You see why cops shouldn't hide in the suburbs? Watch it. Whoa, this guy's got a shotgun. Because these guys couldn't hide in the city. Because try to do a stakeout in Brooklyn. Yeah, you'll get spotted in 2 seconds because there's so many people here. There's like 90% of the population here is a bunch of freaking minorities. Yeah, about 10% of people are like white, or I'll say 20% of people are white. Yeah, it's rare. Like nowadays, and they're mostly just Russian or Irish or something. The mom I do like in the film because Diane Weiss knows how to play a mom, and she looks like a mom. When an actress is either too attractive or like doesn't look like their grandmother, yeah, they shouldn't say that they're the mom. Casting is very important. What is Diet Karen Gillan gonna do? And they're gonna be like, "Why do you call her redhead of Karen Gillan?" Because she's like one of the most famous brunette, redheads, scarlet redheads in Hollywood right now. Because she's in everything now. Says she's in the MCU, and then she's in Jumanji, and then she's on Netflix twice. She's in everything, guys. She was in Doctor Who back in when she was starting out. I mean, there are other redheaded actresses that are just as beautiful and good, and they're actually American. Just saying, guys. Now that she's married, she'll probably take it easy, slow down a little bit and give someone else a chance. I think. What's your favorite NBA team? Well, it was the Bulls when I was a kid. The Knicks I also liked, but they haven't won a championship in ages. And I don't really watch the NBA anymore because it's just not the same. When Jordan retired, it's not. a hostage situation. Yeah, Man from Uncle. Yeah, now a PG movie is going to be what? DC superhero pets? Yeah, that's not for me, guys. That's if that's the best that DC can do for the theater. I don't want to know what their worst was because they have to push everything because of COVID and also because actors have been troublesome. That's why the DCU will never be the MCU. They cast the wrong people that have mental problems. With every Walking Phoenix, you get a Leto or Amber or Ezra Miller, who's throwing his career away because he wants to choke people out. Well, you need help, okay? Get some freaking help. Stop trying to be a criminal because no, hey Leah, it was good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. We haven't spoken on Facebook in a while. Yeah, like I said, get some help, Ezra. They'll make you their bitch in prison if you get up there. Trust me. Nobody, you don't want that. Was an hour and 22 minutes. Yeah, the movie's got about 10 minutes left. It's to protect yourself. That's for hunting. You don't shoot people with a shotgun. Are there any Rugrats episodes you dislike? Well, there was a couple of ones that weren't that funny, like the later seasons of the show, like after they introduced Kimmy and Dill. Yeah, some episodes were just kind of boring. And no, I didn't see the finale of the series. Trying to play Tarzan, and he missed. He missed. Yeah, it is ridiculous here. It's almost done. The movie's almost done, and then we can move on with our day. No more bullets. No more bullets. Hey, laughing boy, no more bullets. No more bullets. Yeah, I love those cartoons. Crack me up. They still make me laugh, and they're like 7 minutes long. Again, he's hitting another wall. Yeah, that joke was funny the first time. The second time, I'm like, you're not Batman, dude, or Tarzan, or Spider Man. Yeah, just for once, I would like a superhero movie not to have somebody British as the lead. Just saying, guys. I'm not asking for much. Because look at the last five films that have come out. You've had Venom 2, and then you had Spider Man. Then you had the Batman. Then you had Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Will it ever freaking end? I mean, these movies, most of them are good, but do they always have to be a bento? No. How do you feel about the upcoming Disney remake of Pinocchio with Tom Hanks and Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I don't know. I love the Disney version from the 40s. It's a classic for a reason. The recent one that came out was some stupid Russian version where they had what was his name? Pauly Shore voicing. It's like skitty, skitty, skitty. I'm like, oh my god, this is so stupid. But I was laughing my ass off when I heard that skitty, skitty, skitty. That's the funniest bad movie line I've heard all year. I lived in many places. I have a couple of months living in Atlanta right now. That's far. Then I'll be moving back somewhere in Florida. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. Interesting. I just went to Massachusetts for the first time last week. It's just too far. It takes like 5 hours to drive over there. Yeah, she gave him the bullets. Nice shot. Yeah, it's a PG movie. They're not going to show him shooting somebody's head off. This is still a PG, even though there's some language and some partial nudity in the beginning. You're not going to see a ton of gore in this movie. Uh, In your opinion, how are Pinto assholes outside being poor actors? Well, because they just had to try to hide their accent and everything, and you can't fool me. Here we go. Third time's a charm. Good stunt, by the way. That wasn't Chevy Chase. I'm Batman. I'm not having any kid that wait. I'm not having another kid that. No, I know it's fine, Leah. Be grateful for what you got. You don't want to lose your figure. Yeah, the shotgun. Whoa, the mom is packing heat. Does Ben Stiller belong in the MCU? I don't know. I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. Yeah, she does. Yep. It's a shotgun, not a machine gun. Yeah. Yeah, trust me. You don't want to mess with a feminist because they'll blow you all, they'll bust your balls. Do you like A24? I haven't seen a lot of their films. I saw Room and I think that was it. Their weird horror psychological thrillers are not for me. Yep, got him. You are busted, pal. Thank you very much. You shouldn't smoke, man. Ugh. That's probably why Jack Palance died. He was old, but he smoked a lot on screen. A24 also did Barely Lethal. I saw that one, Free Fire. That I enjoyed, but like I said, their psychological stuff is not for me. Under the Skin, yeah, that was a really slow movie, but wow, I was so not buying that. I love you. Norman's on sabbatical right now. There's a black girl, the only black woman in the entire cast, mainly. She's a newscaster. She has like two scenes in the movie. Nowadays, everything is painted in black and white. That's how it is now. Nowadays, they can't have a single show on ABC or CW without being, you know, diverse. I'm fine with it once or twice, but every single time, no, guys, you don't have to do diversity hires all the time. I mean, you made Little Mermaid black now. Why? Because reasons. Because Disney's like, we're not racist. See, we cast people of color. Yeah, now, where was your excuse 20 or 30 years ago, huh? You're racist, Disney. Just get over it. Even the real Walt Disney was racist when he was alive. I love his I love his films, but man, your company is run by a bunch of freaking prejudiced people. Tilda Swinton's most recent film, Memoria, is set to be in theaters forever and will probably never get released on streaming. Who cares? Well, that was the movie. It's fun. It is what it is. You saw that Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's a fun movie. I do like this film. I think it's underrated. You should stream it. They became friends. Yeah. Shaving. I do that every week. I do like the film for what it is. It's not a masterpiece, but compared to some of the comedies that we have now, I at least like most of the actors here. Yeah, she married the cop. Of course she did. Because they had so much chemistry in the film. Eh, well, that's it. That's it. I don't want to get a copyright infringement. It's a fun little movie from 1994. I wish I could have seen it as a kid, even though I wasn't allowed to watch things of nudity back in the 90s. not till the 2000s and the 2010s when I became an adult. Well, that was my live commentary on Cops and Robertson, guys. Thanks for watching. It was pretty short because I didn't want it to be 2 hours, but it is flawed, highly flawed, but not horrible. I would recommend watching it once if you haven't. It is what it is. It's not a masterpiece, but it's not horrible. I've seen horrible, trust me, especially this year. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review. My next live commentary will be on Memorial Day, so have a good weekend. End.